In this chapter, an attempt is made to give a simple outline of the psychology of C.G. Jung. To make such a simplification seems rather like drawing a map of the world on a sheet of paper. One conveys as little of the true nature of the psychology as of the seas and continents that make our globe. All the same, the map is a beginning, a framework in which later discoveries can be placed. If the outline seems blurred or confused, perhaps a later stage of the journey will make it clearer, and it is suggested that this first chapter shall be read in this light, and returned to, if necessary, as the reader proceeds. Jung's psychology is based firstly on his own experience with human beings, normal, neurotic and psychotic. It is not a kind of psychopathology, though it takes the empirical material of pathology into account. But his theories are, in his own words, suggestions and attempts at the formulation of a new scientific psychology, based in the first place upon immediate experience with human beings. There is no simple formula to which this experience can be reduced. To focus on one point leads to a gain in clarity, but the network of relationships in which psychic activity consists is lost sight of. The search for precision in defining mental experience robs it of much that by nature belongs to it. In speaking of mind and mental activity, Jung has chosen the terms psyche and psychic rather than mind and mental, since the latter are associated primarily with consciousness, whereas psyche and psychic are used to cover both consciousness and the unconscious. So-called unconscious phenomena are usually unrecognized by the one affected by them and have no connection with the ego. If they do obtrude into consciousness, say for instance in the form of an emotional outburst that is out of proportion to its apparent cause, they are largely inexplicable to anyone who is unaware of the nature of unconscious motivation. "I don't know what came over me," we say. Unconscious manifestations are not limited to the pathological, for normal people are continually acting from motives of which they are utterly unaware. Footnote: the evidence for the existence of the unconscious is now extensive. It is based on the study of the results of association tests, the psychoanalytic technique of free association, material derived from hypnosis, narcosis, dream analysis, and so on, the study of such phenomena as dual personality, the functional disturbances, and the dissociation of mental and nervous disorders. It has not been thought necessary to include it here, but listeners who are interested are referred to Jung's On the Nature of the Psyche. End of footnote. The unconscious aspect of the psyche is different from, but compensatory to, the conscious. In Jung's view, the conscious mind grows out of an unconscious psyche which is older than it, and which goes on functioning together with it, or even in spite of it. Furthermore, in contrast to those who look on mind as secondary manifestation, an epiphenomenon, a ghost in the machine, Jung insists on the reality of the psyche. It is no less real than the physical, has its own structure, and is subject to its own laws. In Basic Postulates of Analytical Psychology, Jung wrote, "All that I experience is psychic. Even physical pain is a psychic image which I experience. My sense impressions, for all that they force upon me a world of impenetrable objects occupying space, are psychic images, and these alone constitute my immediate experience, for they alone are the immediate objects of my consciousness. My own psyche even transforms and falsifies reality, and it does this to such a degree that I must resort to artificial means to determine what things are like, apart from myself. Then I discover that a sound is a vibration of air of such and such a frequency, or that a colour is a wave of light of such and such a length. We are in truth so wrapped about by psychic images that we cannot penetrate at all to the essence of things external to ourselves. All our knowledge consists of the stuff of the psyche, which, because it alone is immediate, is superlatively real. Here, then, is a reality to which the psychologist can appeal, namely, psychic reality." To this, one may add that psychic reality forces itself upon us in many ways. There are even psychically produced illnesses, which have all the appearance of being purely physical, and yet can be proved to have no organic cause, from the dramatic hysterical paralyses and blindness to headaches, stomach troubles, and a host of other minor ailments. Furthermore, everything made by man had its beginnings in the psyche, was something he just thought of, or perhaps saw in a dream or as a vision. Our own hopes and fears may be grounded in realities that are recognizable to others, or they may be purely imaginary. But the joy or anxiety they bring is the same in either case. What we experience is real to us, if not to other people, and has its own validity, equal to, though different from, the reality that is generally acknowledged. This attitude towards the reality of the psyche contrasts strikingly with that to which Jung often refers as a nothing but attitude. Those who hold this point of view continually belittle psychic manifestations, especially experiences which cannot easily be connected with outside events, and refer to them disparagingly as nothing but imagination, or merely subjective. Jung, on the other hand, gives the inner or psychic process a value equal to the outer or environmental one.